In the US, if you look at Utah National Park from a satellite, you can see a unique blue color. If you zoom in a little more, you can see a magnificent view in the middle of the canyons. There are a total of 23 ponds doing where all the mountains and rocks are brown. Is this a secret project of NASA, or is it just a swimming pool? In reality, its real purpose is much more fascinating than this. Welcome to Fact Frontier videos once again. Viewers, to understand these beautiful blue ponds, we have to go back 1,500 years when humans first discovered a unique chemical element using bonfire. Yes, the same bonfire that we burn in winters to keep ourselves warm. The method is simple. Just light a few sticks of wood, but this time not for heating, but for the ash that remains behind. We will put this ash in a pot and add some water to it. Because ash has a lot of chemical compounds, some of them dissolve in water and make the color of the water. Now we will filter this water and keep it to dry in the sun. When the water evaporates, some crystals like this will remain. This is the chemical element that humans have been using for centuries. Because it is made with the help of a pot and ash, that is why it is called potash. Earlier, people used potash to make soap. They used to dye the clothes, and potash was also used in the production of glass products. For instance, by melting animal fat and adding potash on top of it, this liquid turns into soap. Similarly, adding potash in glass production lowers the melting point of glass, making it easier to shape according to preference. With the increasing population of humans, the demand for potash increased so much that thousands of factories were built in 1788 for the production of potash. These factories were only used to burn wood and to store potash, only to collect ash. In 1790, an inventor named Samuel Hopkins invented a new method in the production of potash, which would bake the liquid in a clay pot, not in the sun. This new method took very little time in the production of potash. This was the first patent in American history, which was signed by the first American president, George Washington. Potash got a lot of hype because of this patent, and now different scientists started doing different experiments on it. But there was one experiment among them which was going to change the world forever. After a few years of patent signing, in 1807, a scientist named Dr. Davy put the potash in a pot and gave it current through a battery. She noticed small metal balls forming in the potash, and they burst in the next second. Davy found a new element in the world. But what was the name of this element? As it came out of potash, she named it potassium. Yes, potassium. Many people, upon hearing the name potassium, associate it with apricots, raisins, or bananas. These fruits are a good source of potassium for humans, but it doesn't contain pure potassium. Pure potassium is very reactive. It reacts with anything instantly. As in Humphrey Davy's experiment, potassium reacted with the water vapor in the air and exploded. Similarly, pure potassium is dipped in oil so that it does not react with the water vapor in the air. By using its byproducts, so many things are being made in the world. If we were to count them, perhaps this video might seem short, encompassing from batteries to fertilizers and from glass to gunpowder. Potassium has now become an essential for the world. Potash is made from the addition of animal waste, which is the main ingredient of gunpowder and fireworks. After Humphrey Davy's discovery, potash or potassium was used to make many things, but the biggest problem was the manufacturing of potash, because after the discovery of Davy, it was being made by burning wood for many years. As demand increased, it reached a point where the entire forests of Europe and the US were being cut down, and this thing had become the biggest threat to the environment. Then, in 1861, Germany found a new source of potash production. It was not somewhere else, but in a special type of stone. And this stone was very common in Germany. This new discovery of Germany proved very beneficial. In this way, potash not only decreased in price, but it also saved the trees. Now they had so much potash that they started throwing it here and there, which led to new benefits. By throwing potash on the ground, it was noticed that the crop was growing very fast, and that too by giving less water. Often, farmers had a big problem with water, but by putting potash, crops started flourishing even in less water. In just a few years, Germany became the #1 exporter of potash. In 1910, that is, only 4 years before World War I, when the whole world was dependent on Germany's potash, Germany closed its export of potash for the first time. The biggest loss of this attack by Germany was to America. This was the time when the US Congress allocated funds to find domestic sources of potash. One of the locations was near the city of Moab in Utah. But the problem was that the potash stones were not on the surface, but were 30,500 feet below the ground. First, the USA dug proper mines here. The potash stones were taken out. Everything was going fine again. But then in 1963, an incident happened that changed everything. Methane gas leaked into the mine dug for potash, and after contact with the open flame, it caught fire. Potash mine erupted in a powerful explosion. In this unfortunate incident, 18 miners lost their lives. Next year, a Canadian mining company discovered a new way to extract potash from the ground. They dug a shaft 3,500 feet below in Utah and put pressurized water in it. The potash deposits were mixed in the water, and then the water was pumped up from the second shaft and filled into a pond. This is the same pond which we can see in different colors. If you are thinking that the blue color is due to the potash present in it, then you are wrong. To make the water blue, copper sulfate is added to it so that bacteria do not grow in the standing water. And because blue color attracts sunlight more, evaporation rate is also fast. The heat of the sun evaporates these ponds and pure potash is left behind. There are 23 ponds in this location of Utah, which are spread over an area of 400 acres. It takes about 6 to 8 months for each pond to evaporate. As the water decreases, these ponds turn from blue to green and then yellow. And finally, this white crystal-shaped potash is left behind, which is loaded into trucks and sent. Humans have been using potash for centuries, and it has been a major earning source for humans for centuries. According to an estimate, there are about 2 billion tons of potash present. 1 ton is worth $330, which means only this location can earn $660 billion. We hope you will like and share this video of Fact Frontier. Thank you for your lovely comments. See you in the next video.